And hello, folks. This is your old pal, Uncle Al, and this is my thoughts in Christmas reading from 1945. This is an article by Robert Heinlein from 1945. How to be a survivor. Now, Heinlein was one of the original old school survivors. Okay? I have to take off my glasses because these are for long vision. Okay. We left off where 48 states, remember it's before 1959 when we added Hawaii and Alaska. So anyway, 48 states, capitals are secondary target. Now it's 50. Okay, let's see. We left off at number 2. Let's assume there's no government, no orders from Washington, no fireside chats, no reassurance. Your congressman is the poor devil. He is marked for the kill. You could live through the radioactive dust. His profession is hazardous, and there is no need for him to study up and how to catch a rabbit. You should, if you're smart. Now the methods. As to the methods, there is only one way knowing how to be avoid to be being killed by an atomic bomb. The formula is very simple. Don't be there when it goes off. Okay? If you live in a major city, leave. Coffee. That's common sense. You don't stick around when there's a nuclear bomb targeting your area. Many survival methods of the atomic age is divided into two headlines: strategic and tactical. First, or strategic, it concerns how, not where the bomb is. Second is tactical. It has to do is keep yourself and your family alive due to the destruction of city and government. Okay? Strategic is, whatchamacallit? It's covering the whole country, but tactical, it depends on what part of the country is going to get removed. Okay? And let's see, where the bomb. Okay. Strategic. First simple way to ensure your long life of you and your family is to move to Honduras or someplace small, non-industrial country to establish yourself and quit worrying. In other words, leave America. It is highly unlikely these places will be subjected to atomic bombardment. People forget that phrase. And if war comes, they will be moved to an economical and political sphere of the winner. Okay? If they're a neutral nation or a small nation, they'll side with somebody who won't nuke them, and also they can trade with and resource. Now, I tell people this is the resource wars. Nobody ever listens to me. We have resource wars before World War I, World War II, and now possibly World War III. Okay? This is plain and simple English. A lot of people miss it, and a lot of people don't understand. Everybody have one track going, Russia, Russia, Russia. No, it's everybody in the whole world. Okay? Know your resources. Europe doesn't have any resources. Russia has plenty of resources, but they don't have talent or manufacture. And then you have India, who's up and coming, knows what's going on. Indians are smart. And it's going to be one of the superpowers. China is like us, like the United States. We're intertwined like two dead twins. Okay? Both trying to be a superpower. They reach some success, but they cannot maintain it. U.S. have still some resources. China depleted its resources, and now it needs more resources than it can mine or whatever. Okay? China is like Europe. It knows that. So it's branching out and conquering any which way of its neighboring lands. Okay, let's see. Let's see. And let's see. Since resistance is futile, this is back to the article, they'll probably capitulate. Okay? And you wonder, since resistance is futile, that came from Heinlein's article. Star Trek quote. However, you cannot afford or feel you cannot afford to move as drastic as that. Whatever you can, the truth is afforded is a moot point and be settled by your own notion or degree of danger. Now, let me put it this way. He's talking about the pre-war refugees from Nazi Germany and China for Japan could not afford to flee either, and the events proven the wisdom of doing so. So if you were smart, you get out of the war zone before it starts. A lot of people don't plan. A lot of people don't plan ahead. And they end up dead. Go ask 6 million Jews that were gassed. Okay? Could not afford to flee, or events proven the wisdom of doing so. There is an old Chinese advantage. Of course, for a long life, a wise man will abandon his luggage several times. It has never been more truer than today. Okay? This is right after World War II. There are several moves open to you where less drastic. You could live on a farm or a small village or town many miles away, or 50. Other states is a good figure from the nearest large city, rail junction, power dam, auto factory. I always cross out auto factory because remember, auto factories were still coming. In America, it's part of the Rust Belt. Okay, but near a large city or a rail junction, still problematic. Power dam 2. Other likely military targets, strategic, tactical, largely take care of itself. If you're blasted, you'll probably be accidental. A rocket, now this is 1945, he's thinking ahead, a rocket gone wild. During 1945, a lot of the bombs were dropped by bombers. So he's thinking way ahead. Also, he helped in the work on the V-8 for the Americans at Redstone. Something equally unforeseeable, if you cannot find such a location, you better make plans. If you're not in such a location, you better make plans. I just like it when they put it on damn 7 print because of a lot of information. Just a moment, gentleman in the back has a question. The guy way in the back has always a question. Now, let's see, has a question. A little louder, please, he asked. Isn't it true that the government is planning to disperse the cities so we'd be safe from the threat of atomic bombs? That was 1945. Did not work. It did not happen. It was a joke. Another con of the suburbs? Oh, we're safe from nuclear war. No, it didn't. It created a bigger mess. So that statement from the guy in the back is idiotic. I don't know if it is proven. It isn't. The only figures I heard mentioned so far, it'll take, oh God, that was even big back then. About $25 billion set aside from the question of whether or not large-scale dispersal can be effective. There is still a question whether or not Congress would appropriate a, a quarter of a trillion dollars, which is right, in peacetime for any purpose. That political question is beyond some scopes of this discussion. We are concerned how you, unassisted by the federal government, with your own two hands, your brains, and your ability to plan ahead and keep yourself alive during any possible nuclear war. Okay? If you live in a large city or targeted area, strategic planning has to be a good bit more detailed and shifty. Okay? You need an emergency home. Perhaps an abandoned farm, he's thinking ahead, picked up cheaply, or a cabin built on government land. Not possible because BMS has really strict things. What is depends on the part of the country you live in. How much money can you put into it? It should be chosen with a view to possibilities it offers eating off the land. Fish, game, garden plot, wild edibles, and it should be near enough where you could reach on one tank of gas. Civilization. The tank in your car is too small. You have to put in a specially built one, like Uncle Al did with his Honda Fit. Because people thought, only holds 8 gallons. And they look at me like, damn, your tank's big, Uncle Al, for a little car. Yeah, if I die in a crash, it's going to be in a fiery ball. My tank holds about 12 to 15 gallons for a Honda Fit. Okay. It's too small. Should have a specially built tank for him. Keep enough cans reserved permanently in the trunk of gasoline of your car. Your car should be equipped with a survival kit separate from your bug-out bag that comes under these tactics. There's 2 portions of that kit. One to maintain the car, the other one's for you and your family, and seasonal clothing. Okay. Having selected and equipped your emergency base, okay, bug out location, you must then able to live in a target area, keeping your ears to the ground. So Uncle Alan lives in the suburbs, and I already have my emergency areas, so I don't have to worry about it. Ear to the ground and eyes open in respect to world affairs. There should be no time to get the rockets launched. You will have to outguess an event. This is a tricky assignment at best, and the principal reason why it does better to live in the country than in the city in the first place. I tell people go watch White Noise on Netflix, and that gives you a good reason. In the first place, fair chance to accomplish this is not existent, blindly optimistic, and overcome the storm clouds that are gathering. Despite the debacle at Pearl Harbor, where a number of people, laymen along them, knew that a war was coming with Japan. You think you know the spots as troubles as long as you jump. But unfortunately, living in the spot for a long time, like, duh, I don't know, and they get clobbered. Okay? This is from 1945. Let us suppose you are quick-witted and farsighted and fast enough on your feet and brought yourself and your family safely through the bombing. You have somehow out in the country away from radioactive areas where target is short-term, therefore. Okay, countryside is swarming with crazed survivors, which is true, of the attack. From the edges of the bombed area, survivors are hungry, desperate, and some of them are armed. All of them are free from civilization's restriction, organization, living. The enemy troops, if they move in, which is possible, people don't understand. Enemy troops come in, you have a gun, they shoot you. Okay? The enemy troops move in to occupy and already may be present or be dropping from the skies any day. Now, that is a good point, and this was written 80 years ago. All right? You only need a company of men or 3 companies of men to conquer an area. This is why the U.S. developed the Space Force. So either they could drop supplies, material on parts of the world through re-entry, or they drop a company of men, again, through re-entry to hot spots of the world. They have a few bugs in the system and they're trying to figure it out. Are they going to do atmospheric controllable shuttles, or they're going to have space gliders go down and land the troops? Okay? Both ways are expensive. Both ways are possible. They already have smaller models. I've seen the models. A lot of people saw it on YouTube too. That the Air Force uses. It's a drone. Okay, it's a miniature version of the space shuttle. But they're working on a bigger one that can land troops in every place. All you need is the airport to glide in, not a problem. You need a mile-long airport. Once Special Forces capture that airport, they can open it up for shuttle landing, and then you've got troop landings within a day or so. Okay. On that day, you will feed and protect yourself and your family. Tactical preparations for survival fall after the debacle. These groups come in 3. They fall in 3 groups. All right? First, overhaul your body assets. Okay, in other words, you got to get in shape. This includes joining the YMCA or gym. Get rid of that the pot belly. If you have a pot belly, lose weight. Increase your wind. Okay, how to breathe correctly. And endurance to such things as getting typhoid and cholera shots, having appendix out, keeping your teeth as best shape possible. It's a little bit too late for me. If you wear glasses, you want several pairs against the days when there will be no glass places to make them. I have 6 pairs, so, you know, and I had some eye surgery, so. In practice. Second is acquiring various materials and tools unable to make or grow in the sun. Synthetic Stone Age materials such as a pickaxe, burning glass, example, are worth considering more than 2 college degrees or a diamond bracelet, which is true. Let's see your underwater ballet class dig a hole. Third is training and getting skills in various fundamental pioneer skills. Not only how to catch and snare a rabbit, cook the rabbit, butcher the rabbit. There are plenty other things as such, like when to plant potatoes, how to tell edible fungi from deadly toadstools without trying them on Junior or the dog. Such things are as where and when to plant, or how to walk up silently or walk quietly to somebody. I practice every day. It scares the hell out of my relatives. All these things are necessary, but to face hardships, danger, cold, and hunger without losing your zest and courage and a sense of humor, you must think what is going to be going to be too hard to be worth it. You cannot face the prospect of coming back from the ruins of a cabin burned down by drunken looters, Generation Z, and others. Quiet determination, build another one, don't bother to start. If you can't rebuild what they destroy, then you don't need to be a prepper or survivalist. Okay? Move from a targeted area and wait. Move to a targeted area, ground zero, and wait for the end. It does not take any special courage to accept death. It moves like lightning. You won't be able to do the long, hard walk that steers a good except death like lightning. You will not have to take the long walk that the steers make to the stockyard pen to the slaughterhouse or going into the gas chamber, all right? But your ancestors to still move their bones, you know it's worthwhile. They did. Cowards never start, okay? Weakling dies on the way. The spirit of crossing the plains, Atlantic, the spirit of every immigrant who left Europe. There's good blood in your veins, comrade. Or the compadre. I think it's compadre. Okay, and we're going to leave it off right there because I went over 20 minutes. All right, folks, I'll do another Christmas reading. I'll catch you later. Well, like I said, this is the long version of it. And you have a nice day. I'll be seeing you. Catch you later. Bye now.